Due to COVID and lockdown, almost all of us are confined to one place and we have lost our lot of personal space. Earlier, we used to have a lot of things like we used to travel, we used to have our office space, we used to meet a lot of new friends. So we had a lot of time where we can actually explore ourselves. But due to this confinement, what has happened is we have become a lot less time fulfilled. We're spending a lot of time, but we're not getting the fulfillment out of the time we spend. And in this video, we're going to be discussing about how to be time fulfilled. That is how to find more time for what you truly love. So if you're looking for a productivity hack, this is not the video for you. But if you're looking for finding more happiness, more fulfillment, and more joy in your life, this video will actually help you to find out how you can actually spend more of your time in the fulfillment zone. So first of all, let's discuss about the four quadrants in the time management matrix. Most of you might have probably seen it before as well, but this video will give you a new understanding and you'll be accounting how do you spend your time as well. So this video is going to give you a new perspective on how you keep spending your time. Okay, so all of you might know it, urgent and importance. So some things that are urgent, not important, important and not so urgent, urgent but not so important, and not important but urgent. So we'll go on it slowly, and I'll explain it to you. And by the end of this video, you'll be very clear what do these dimensions mean if you don't know it up till now. Okay. So first, let's go to the dimension of delusion. That is the things that look very urgent to us, but that are not very important. Like things we do to divert ourselves from our life. जो चीजें हम we do to look busy. What are the some examples of it? It can be things you do but you didn't have to do, like you were responding to emails, or you had very lengthy meetings which had no purpose, or you were micromanaging every task. छोटी सी भी चीज हो जाती तो okay यार I need to do this, or you schedule a meeting with just to please somebody. You doing these things to just divert your attention from the things that matter the most. This is the dimension of delusion. The things that are urgent, आपको लगेगा कि आपका the things that are emotions to attach to it, and because आपके emotions attached हैं and you want to feel a bit of away from the normal situation, you do this, go into this delusion factor. Okay, so what's the strategy to dealing with this dimension of delusion? Try to limit your time in this dimension of delusion as much as possible. Okay, so that was about dimension of delusion, the things that are urgent but that are not very important. Now, the second dimension is the dimension of demand, the things that are urgent as well as important, like which I like to call it as the firefighting zone. आपको बहुत टाइम से एक काम मिल रहा था, something important that is not taken care of becomes urgent. आपको अगर एक टास्क दिया गया आपके असाइनमेंट से, हमें अगर हमें कॉलेज से असाइनमेंट मिलता है या आपको ऑफिस से कोई काम मिलता है, and you are given 1 month of period, 1 month period of time for doing that, and you can do that in 1 week. What you'll do is you'll not do anything for the first 3 weeks, and in the last 1 week you'll actually do and create a lot of urgency for yourself that I need to do it. And what ends up happening is you end up asking for more time for completing the project, right? So something important that is not taken care of becomes urgent. Like if you don't take care of health right now, this might not be a very urgent thing for you. You're healthy right now, you're very young, but if you don't take care of it for a long time, karma will come back and bite you. Ki bhai tumne you didn't take care of health, so it will come. If you don't take care of financials, if you just keep spending your money, if you don't have an account where you actually spend your, where you save money and you build a long-term wealth, then you're going to face problems in the long term and you'll feel, okay, how did I end up in being in this situation? Or with self, if you don't prioritize yourself, what will end up happening is if you don't give your time for doing something which you like, you're doing gratitude list and all those things, what will end up happening is these things will compound and you'll feel unhappy and unfulfilled in life. So anything that is not taken care of, that important, that is not taken care of, becomes urgent in one point of time. Some more examples of things that become urgent are GST. Every month there is a taxation, when taxation happens. So on 21st, on 20th, the side of GST is like very highly overloaded, right? or the car or scooty servicing. We don't go and do these things until these things start to actually give problems to us. Insurance, mutual funds, all those things which we don't take care, which we think are not very urgent, but are very important to us. So we just tend to ignore this. So this is what Tony Robbins have to say about urgency. A life of fulfillment is one in which we put urgency in its place. And remember, the ultimate target is to spend our lives in things we believe are most important to us. So, we spend a lot of time in, urgency. यार एकदम से urgency हो गया, office से आपको काम करना है, urgent है, and those things. And we spend a lot of time in urgency. So what's the strategy for dealing with this dimension of demand? You need to start managing this dimension of demand. You need to delete some things. You might need to automate some things, and you might need to delegate some things. So we're going to be talking in brief about how you can do this in some other video, in next videos. But this is very important to manage this dimension of demand. Okay. Now the third dimension is the dimension of fulfillment, or the zone. The things that are important but that are not very urgent. Like, you might say things you have to do you don't have to do on an urgent timeline, but you choose to do because that is important to you. It might be learning for you, it might be a lot of things for you. But in this fulfillment, what I mean is by self-prioritizing. How much time do you give to yourself in the fulfillment zone? And the more time that you give to yourself in this fulfillment zone, the more things you are able to create, and the more things you'll be able to do. How much time do you spend meditating? How much time do you spend exercising, working on your body, or reading something inspiring? These are all the zone of fulfillment. Being well hydrated, eating healthy. This might not be very urgent for you, but it is very important for you to do that, right? Get rest. We, a lot of us ignore sleep. Accept, forgive, learn, doing what you love and loving what you do. And laughing, playing, nourishing your inner child. If you don't do that for a very long time, it's going to compound. Right? Journal, write from your heart, and be quiet, inner silence. How much do you self-prioritize? How much do you work in the zone of fulfillment? This is the dimension of fulfillment, the prioritization zone, right? So what's the strategy for being in this dimension of fulfillment? Focus on these things. Focus is the most important asset, not time. So that is what is very most important. And now the fourth dimension, that is a dimension of distraction. The things that are not important as well as not urgent. That is the time killers. What you can say, like Netflix, watching Netflix, doing endless scrolling on social media, having escapism, like bad habits that you keep repeatedly doing, TV, watching TV, doing procrastination, addictive computer games. All of these things are time killers. So what's the strategy to deal with the dimension of distraction? It's to basically avoid these things. So once we know these four dimensions of time, and we are aware about these times, we'll be actually able to spend more of the time in the dimension of fulfillment. And how I'm going to go now, how you can actually first of all account for your time, where you're spending your time in, and then I'll tell you what are the basically things and how you actually need to go about this. Okay.